Hey guys, I want to welcome you to another video. It's fall, as you can see, in New England. The trees are changing and the leaves are falling, and we got that cool, well, not really cool. The past week it's been kind of warm and humid here in New England, but Halloween is approaching. We're just about halfway through October. I think today is the 11th or 12th or 13th, somewhere around there. But I want to welcome you guys to my first annual Trek-O-Lantern creation video. I was thinking of doing different things. We love jack-o'-lanterns here in New England, and not too far there's a place called the Roger Williams Pumpkin Spectacular, and they just carve tons of jack-o'-lanterns, and it's put into a setting and you walk through the path, and it's pretty cool. Anyway, there are a ton of jack-o'-lanterns that deviate from the norm. I was thinking of doing a portrait of Coach Belichick, the greatest coach in the history of the NFL. And then I was looking at the Enterprise and I'm like, why don't I do a Trek-O-Lantern? So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do my first annual Trek-O-Lantern video. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And the first thing we got to do is get our pumpkin. Okay, so I got a nice medium-sized pumpkin. And I was thinking of, see, what I have in my head, I'm trying to project onto the pumpkin. And if the finished result looks like what I have in my head, it's going to be pretty cool. But remember, the bigger the pumpkin, the more intricate work there's going to be. So if this is my first Trek-O-Lantern, so let's try to do it on a medium-sized pumpkin. You can see, looking good, got a good workspace. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it a bath, because you can see it's pretty dirty. Okay, so it's all nice and clean. We dried it off, and what we can do now is we can look for the best side to do the portrait, and the side looking kind of, you can probably see that's where it was lying when it was growing. So let's do this side. I think that side will be the nicest angle. So we can go ahead now, and what we're going to do is I'm going to draw the Enterprise onto the side of the pumpkin. Alright, so when it comes to the Enterprise, we have the saucer section, and we have the nacelles that are going to be on the backs, and we have the secondary hull with the deflector dish. So you can see this pumpkin's kind of leaning a little bit, so I'm wondering if I want to make the Enterprise leaning, like she's coming around orbiting a planet. I'm thinking I'd like to do a head-on shot of the Enterprise. Let's see. And this is going to be freehand. There's no, at least none that I could find. There were no sketches or, what do you call the stencils to put on for the Enterprise. Anyway, I wanted to do it original, so I think I'm going to start with the saucer section of the primary hull. And let's see, we can, that she has she's kind of angled in. So let's try to make the line going across. nacelles. We've got the nacelle pylons coming down to the secondary hull. We've got the sensor-dome. We've got the bridge. We've got B and C decks. We've got the primary hull. And you can see we got the Bassard collectors on the nacelles. And it's kind of looking, she's kind of flying straight at us. So, I think I want to put Star Trek on the bottom. I think that would be, let's, if I can do that. Here, you can see we've got Star Trek, we've got the Enterprise, and again, please be kind, guys, because this is all freehand. Maybe I could have used a stencil. I was thinking maybe if I would have printed out something or used a photo and did a negative of it and put it on, but I wanted to do it freehand. I'm not going to do the NCC-1701 with the Enterprise words because that's it's going to be too cluttered. But we got the Bassard collectors on top. We've got the bridge, BC decks, the primary hull. Maybe the primary hull is a little too thick. And we got the secondary hull, and we have the deflector dish, and we have the words Star Trek. So what we can go ahead now is we'll go ahead and we'll start to carve into that area. Okay, what I think I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to open it up and I'm going to hollow it out. That way there, when I take the meat away from the walls, I won't risk going through it when I clean it. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, so we got the top off, and what I like to do is I use a big metal spoon and I scrape the walls down first, and then I scoop out all the insides. And when it's all nice and clean, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so you can see it's all nice and cleaned out. And the lid is cleaned. And what we can do now is I can go ahead, I can use my new toolkit, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I wanted to get a good carving kit that could be used for finely detailed work. So let's open it up and I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, so the Urkun Happy Halloween Pumpkin Carving Kit. And I wanted something that would give me the flexibility where I could take the skin off. That's where this one will come in handy. You can see it's got the curvature on the blade. It's got the cutting tools, but I'm not really going to use those. And the scoop. I should have probably used that. But the spoon for me works good. And this one is kind of like a scribe. But the real reason I wanted to get this tool set was because of these tools. In particular, you can see they're kind of made to angle the flesh off. Once you get the skin off, and if you want to carve and put detail into it and make it kind of 3D, you can see it's got that ring on both sides. And you can see it's got that kind of, let me show you guys. You can kind of poke holes into the pumpkin. And this could even be used to take the skin off in certain areas if you want to scoop it like that. And let's see, one of the reasons I had wanted it most too was because of kind of like a scalpel tool to run along the lines. You can see it's not really sharp, but hopefully it does the trick. Because where I did the magic marker, we're not going to scoop that out. We're actually going to scoop everything that's on the inside of the magic marker out. And I want to be able to take the skin off without making a mess of it. So this should really help. And it's got these drill tools that kind of look like drills if you want to drill into the pumpkin. Because I'm kicking around the idea of putting lights on it, the Bussard collectors and the running lights, but we'll see. You can see there's a tool without having to use a power tool on a pumpkin. And they got another one of those tools and a couple more of those wire tools just to mold the flesh. So what I'm going to start doing now is we're going to go over and we're going to start taking the skin off and bringing our Enterprise lantern to life. All right, so let's start taking out some of the flesh. There, you can see the Enterprise is all set. All the skin is off, exposing all the flesh in all the areas. And when the candle is in, this is going to glow at night. So what we got to do now is we have to go and we have to do the lettering. So let's start that. But I'm going to just show you a close-up of it. Well, so the carving of the skin layer is all done. Let me show you guys. So what I want to do now is I'm going to clean it off, and then we're going to start to clean out the inside. And boy, is my hand cramped up. I'm going to use this and try to clean out the fleshy parts. There. I don't want to risk going any deeper because I don't want to pull the windows off. Let's try to do in here a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now we can go in and we can see about lighting it up. But we're gonna fix that R first. Okay, so I brought it back to the modeling desk and I gotta fix that R because I messed it up and the little piece came out. My hand by that time, after doing all that carving, was really starting to get sore. So let me take the marker and try to get it in there where I can. Well, hopefully that little dot will make up for the piece that's missing. So let's go ahead and light it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to light it with the votive candle. There we go. All right. Cover it up. And let me take you down off the tripod. Let me show you guys Star Trek. On the bottom, you can see our Enterprise. Again, guys, don't judge too harshly, please, because I did her freehand. So, you can see the glow. That jack-o'-lantern glow. And again, when it gets dark tonight, I'll light it up and it should look a little more prominent. You can see. That's what she looks like. Actually, I have a little idea. This is the Enterprise. Let me try something. Okay, so being this is the Enterprise, let's see. We'll get some white. There we go, all gonna be white. I got some lights here. I don't want nothing that I'm gonna have to solder or go into like that. See, these are all, I do have bulbs. We got blue and red, but those have to be soldered. And for this project, I want something where I can just run the wires. These are all white. Let's check these out. My little lights. I got blue. Okay, so I got green. What do you guys think? Maybe put a green light on the starboard. Let's see, do I have red? I got green. White, we got enough of those. Here's red. So we can do port. And let's see, maybe the Bassard collectors. Do I have orange? I've got yellow. Red or yellow? I wonder if the yellow the red would be glowing. Okay, let's try the red for now. Okay, so these are the reds. I mean, come on, guys. She is the Enterprise, so we have to do it. We have to do it special. And if it looks ridiculous, I'm absolutely going to regret doing it. let's see. So this is red. So if we drill into the Bussard collector, we can put the light and have it glowing red. And I think this one should be green. Yep, this is green, so this should go on the starboard side. All right, we got all the wires stripped. Get rid of these. And let's get the tape. Like I said, I'm not going to solder them. I'm just going to duct tape everything for now, just to keep it, because this isn't going to last long. You can see it's already starting to dry out, so let's get all the negatives. There we are. So let's get a piece of duct tape. And just like that. And we'll do the same thing with the white, with the positives. You want it to be reliable. Like I said, it's the Enterprise, so she deserves that little bit extra. Okay, so we got the lights wired together. So we got 3 reds and the green. So what we need to do now is we got to figure out a way to get them into the pumpkin. I actually never drilled a pumpkin before. All right, let's try to do this real gentle like. Okay, so will these go through? Oh yeah, that'll go through nicely. Okay, so we got the 2 Bussard collector ones. So this one is going to be tricky because we have the running lights on port and starboard. And they would be right about there. So maybe if I kind of cheat just a little bit and increase the size of that. And we'll do the same thing with this side. And again, what we'll do is we'll kind of define the lines just a little bit more. Kind of pop it out a little bit. You can see just by doing this, it's going to bring it out a little bit more, the detail. And when it's lit at night, you really want it to pop out. Again, this was, we did the skin all on the inside of the line, so we wouldn't have to damage it in any way. Kind of looking like a negative, and that's what you want it to look like. So what we need to do now is run a wire out through the back so we can hook it up to a power supply. This just so happens to be why I keep some wire. All the spare wire that I have, I like to keep. And I just so happen to have one of these, so that'll be working out nice. Alright, so we'll use blue for the negative, and the green will be the positive. All we needed is to be able to get through. Alright, so what we got to do now is we've got to drill a hole into the side of the pumpkin. That way there we can have the wire coming out in the back. So, and we don't want the wires to be close to the fire, to the flame. So let's do it right about here. Okay, so we'll take the cap off. And we'll take the candle out for now. And you can see on the inside, you can see the back where the hole is. So what I want to do is we got to bring the leads through. That way there, we can put the end cap on, so we won't be able to run that through. It'll be too small. All right, now we can take the leads and we can hook them up. We said green will be positive. There. So that's all hooked up now. So now, when we hook up the power supply, all the lights should light up. So, and what we need to do now is we need to fish the lights through. So I'm going to use this as a guide. And let's see, we're going to have two of the Bussard collectors on top. Oh, wow, that's going to look pretty cool. All right, this was a good idea, which is a good thing. And we'll put the guide through the other one. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so now we're going to do, let me make sure that it's, yep, I just want to make sure green is on the starboard side. So we'll do red for the port. So we'll put that in just like that for now. We got one more. We got the starboard side. that looks pretty cool. All right, let me clean off my hands. Guys, what do you think? Let me put the lights out for you. So we have, let's put that in just a bit because it's kind of bright. And same thing with that one. So we got the port, we got the starboard. So let's go ahead and put in a candle and we'll light it up. So when it's pitch black out, it'll probably look a little bit better, more predominant. We got the starboard light. We got the Bussard collectors lit up. That looks pretty good. And we got the glow from the candle on the inside. Star Trek. I think she'll look pretty good in the night. Let's take the lid off. You guys can see the candle inside with the wires. Make sure that that's not going to touch. So I think that looks pretty good. So why don't we, it's bright daylight right now, so why don't we wait until nighttime and I'll show you what it looks like in the dark. Okay, so now it's nighttime and we lit it up. I got two candles in her. You can see the starboard running light. Looks pretty cool. We got the words Star Trek. And we've got the port running light. We've got the Bussard collectors. You can see I got two votives, one votive and one tea light. And you can see the wires. So let's go ahead and we can put the lid back on. Let's see how that looks. Looks pretty good. And that, my friends, is my first annual Star Trek Halloween Trek-O-Lantern special. I hope you guys enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making this video, because it was really fun. And I'll be making you guys another video very soon. Till then, happy Halloween.